Hello, my beautiful fashionistas. Happy New Year and welcome back to Yvonne Winifred UG. Today, I'm just here to share how I clean, how I maintain my sewing machine. It is a domestic manual sewing machine, nothing too complicated, and just follow through and see how I do it. So it is a Singer sewing machine. That is how it looks like. I've told you it is manual, it's not electric. So this is how it looks like. This is where I reduce the tension from, and this is where I reduce the stitch length. And guys, to start, I have to remove everything on top of this sewing machine, the rulers, the scissors, and the threads, the measuring tape, and put them aside. Everything that I can remove. So also I have to remove the thread under inside the bobbin case under here, so I have to remove it also and put it aside. So this is now how it looks like. So I'm just going to get a clean cloth, very dry as you see it, and it's not unraveling, and it is dry as I've told you guys. And in this case I start by removing all the dirt off this machine, especially on top of this machine. So I'm just removing every dirt, all the unnecessary threads, anything that is hiding anywhere. So I do this thoroughly. Remember, I'm using a dry, clean cloth. You should use a material that is not going to add more dirt or more threads into your machine. So this is what I do on top here, everywhere. Sometimes there is some oils or some food that poured onto the machine, anything unnecessary. So I do this thoroughly everywhere that I can, and after I show you what I do next. So that is it. So I want to remove this rope that holds the wheels together, so I remove it and put it aside. And also issue these parts, they're going to help me lift the head part of the sewing machine, and I put it like this so that I clean even its inside. So I think you're seeing some threads, and there is already some dirt and some old oil in this part of the sewing machine, or the head part of the sewing machine. So what I do again, I bring my clean dry cloth and I remove all the dirt. Every dirt is removed this way. The threads that broke while I was sewing and they're hiding inside here, I remove them. So I open even this part, and I think you're seeing all this dirt, all this. We have to remove it. Remember, you have to sew clients' clothes when your sewing machine is really clean, especially if they are white or even any other color. Every fabric, it has to be clean. So I remove all this from inside here, as you see guys, and I make sure that everything is clean and neat. So it is a Singer, as I told you before, and this is how it looks like after. It's really old. I bought it way back even before I started sewing, like 4 years ago. So this is how it looks like, and I'm going to use this lubricant, or the machine oil. It is really ideal for sewing machines. It's not water guys, it is oil. which is ideal for sewing machines. And I have a hole on top here, but if there is no hole, you can remove and open this part so that you pour the oil into this part. So I'm pouring oil, a generous amount, on every part that is moving, like the entire inside part of this sewing machine. So I do that everywhere necessary. And after, guys, I come to this side where the bobbin case sits, and I open it up and I remove even all these parts. They are removable. If you don't know how to remove them, please ask for assistance or just look closely. It's not rocket science, I assure you. And I clean inside there also. There are always threads there. Sometimes even when you're sewing, the machine stops just because of threads inside that bobbin case or where the bobbin case sits. So me, I make sure that I open it up and clean it thoroughly, and after removing all the dirt and the unnecessary threads, I just go in with my oil. So don't put too much that in case a customer comes, you cannot even sew for them. Just put a good amount. And after, guys, I put the machine head back properly. So make sure you don't spoil anything. So there's this part also here where you see me pointing. I want to open it up also and clean it thoroughly. So this is the part, this part where the sewing machine chews from like chewing. It's from, I'll say, the teeth of the sewing machine, for lack of a better word. So I use my knife to open up to remove this screw nail. So you see this part is only one nail, so I remove it, put it aside, put the nail aside also, so that it does not get lost. And I'm also going to go inside there and remove all the dirty oils, the dirt, like dirt, only dirt, and some unnecessary threads. Those are the things that are mostly inside our sewing machines. So I go in thoroughly, guys, thoroughly. Make sure you remove everything that is not supposed to be there. And I go in with my oil again. So oil. Even after sewing a lot of clothes with your sewing machine, you have to oil it and prepare it for the next day. So I don't do this every day. I do it like once a week, once a month, all this. But oiling that part where you're seeing me opening up, I do that like regularly, especially when I sew many clothes or heavy clothes. The oil is like the water for your body. So oil is the food for this sewing machine. You have to oil it up always. So I remove this part also. Here you see it, so it's mostly oil in it. This is how it looks like inside there. It really looks kind of old. I bought this machine second hand, and guys, I assure you, second hand machines always work best. For me especially, the manual ones, they always work best. So if possible, you can go on and also even remove those other parts. That is, if you know how to put them back. So I use even my knife to help me remove all the threads inside there. So, and even the old oil, you see, after I go in with oil properly, just as you see me doing. So after, I'm just going to put back all these pieces that I've removed and screw the nails inside tightly so that the sewing machine is ready to run again on a fresh page. I'm going to put this back also and everything here, and this is how it looks like. So I'm putting this pass part also back. It covers that part there so that you can put the cloth as you're sewing, and even this rope on this wheel that helps the machine to move. Put it back, and this is how the beautiful sewing machine now looks like. So fresh, so fresh. From down this wheel, the rope is back there, and that is how I clean and maintain my sewing machine for greater and proper use. So always use your oil and clean it thoroughly so that you can be sewing at an easy pace. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.